Good morning. My name is Kim Carno. On behalf of the clergy, board of directors, and staff of Congregation Beth Israel, I would like to welcome you here today. Before our services begin, I'd like to share some facility information with you in case you are a newcomer to our community. In the unlikely case of an emergency, please note the exits at the rear of the sanctuary in each corner. These are in addition to the 3 entry doors in front that you likely came through this morning. The social hall has emergency exits at each corner of the room as well. Upon exiting for whatever emergency, please move a safe distance away from the building and follow any staff member instructions you may be given. In a moment when the rabbis join us, they're going to ask that you say hello to the people sitting near you. So I ask you to take a moment now and scooch together from the aisles if you are able, so that we have more seats to fill as congregants join us. Leshana Tova.
Shana Tova. So wonderful to welcome you all here as we welcome in the year 5780, as we count the years of our tradition. I want to welcome people who are coming in live stream, and there are many of you who are coming to us from all over the country and in fact all over the world. It's wonderful also to have you with us. If you are not well and you are home, we wish you a refuah shlema, so that you can be with us online and not necessarily here and praying together. We wish for your continued health. Likely you're sitting next to someone you know and love, but maybe in front of you or behind you, you don't know them. So introduce yourself with each other as Shana Tova.
Shana Tova. And Shana Tova. For those who are doing
It's wonderful to hear such a buzzing community, and I hate to stop your greetings, but I'm sure that you'll continue them after the service is over. For all of us, no matter where we've traveled, we come back to celebrate the season of return. Our hearts rise up in hope. Our spirits reach for new beginnings. Our voices, too, lift a melody that celebrates today. How good they are, these tents, this tent of Jacob. How beautiful the home where Israel dwells. We join together in Matovu, page 110. We join together. A blessing for study. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, supreme power of the universe. You sanctify our lives with mitzvot and give us the sacred obligations of learning and living Torah. Please take a moment for the study texts that you see that are coming on page 114 through 117. Perhaps find one that suits you. What is speaking to me comes from page 115. Some mitzvot sustain us, not only in this world, but also in the world to come. They are honoring our parents, acting with kindness and loyalty, eagerly pursuing Jewish learning at all times, welcoming guests, visiting the sick, rejoicing with couples under the chuppah, caring for the dead and mourners, delving deeply into prayer, and making peace among human beings. And the study of Torah, this is the cornerstone. Page 121. We pray responsively. You have taught us, guard yourselves well, take good care of your lives. Your word calls to us, do no harm.
Do not weaken or exhaust yourself.
In gratitude for the gift of our bodies,
We pray for a year of renewed health and unleashed strength.
may caring for our bodies become a daily practice.
May we be attentive to our need for proper food, sleep, and exercise.
Let no injury come to others through our acts or failure to act, but let our mitzvah be this:
To build a just society in which care is a birthright.
and the blessing of health, the responsibility of all.
We join together Elohai Neshama prayer for our souls, page 122. We pray for daily miracles, page 124. We chant responsively. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan sechvi vina, להבחין בין יום ובין לילה.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivri.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kikufri.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa limot tzorchi.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei kaver.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish harumim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten layayif koach.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavir shinam einai, ushtumam li'afapai.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzelem Elohim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'lat chorim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael gevurah.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifarah. We join together joyfully singing Psalm 150 on page 135. Shofar, hallelujah, never chinor, hallelujah, b'tov u'machol, hallelujah, b'rivim ve'udah, Hallelujah, b'tzitzilei shama. Hallelujah, b'tzitzilei truah. Kol ha'charam te'aleya. Kol ha'charam te'aleya. Source of blessings, our eternal God, your power fills the cosmos, shaping light, creating darkness, making peace, and fashioning all things. Infinite light is preserved in life's treasure house. Lights from the darkness, said God, and it was so. We bring light to each other when we call each other to worship, when we call each other to prayer, when we warm up, as we just did in praise. Won't you please rise for Baruch Hu, if you're able. Page 142.
Page 144, we join together in the English. In love you bring light to the earth and its creatures. Your goodness renews the creation each day. Infinite, varied, and rich are your works, divine artist. All of them wrought with wisdom. The whole earth is teeming with life. Awestruck by the universe, work of your hands, let all life bless you, praise you, and celebrate the beauty of your lights. May you shine a new light on Zion, and may we soon be privileged to share in that light. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer ha'me'orot. Our praise to you, Adonai, creator of the cosmic lights. We read in our next prayer, Ahava Rabbah, V'havienu shalom me'arba kanfot ha'aretz. Bring us in peace from the four corners of the earth. Bring us in from Scripps Ranch and University City. From Bird Rock and North Park. Bring us in from whatever it is that we are leaving out there. Lead us with upright pride to the gates of repentance. You are a God of miracles and wonders, of beautiful moments, and God, what in the world was that? Experiences. We could have been anywhere, but we have come here to seek you, as you bring us close to your great enduring truth. So with love, open up our eyes and teach us how to live. As we come together from the four corners of the earth, we will join as one to proclaim that you are one. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. Our praise to you, Adonai. You have singled out your people Israel with love.
Shema Israel.
Please be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha vishinantam levanecha v'divarta ושרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Our scholar in residence this year, Alden Salavi, writes, "Who is like you, God of mystery and majesty, distant and present, thundering and quiet, the beginning and the end, the atom and the cosmos, the darkness and the light, the one and the all, pillar and foundation, artist of sea and sky, author of the miraculous and the mundane, source of life, blessing and sustaining creation. Who is like you, glorious in holiness, to whom we praise, to whom we give thanks, the God who redeemed us from Egypt, the God who parted the sea, the God to whom Moses and Miriam led in song." We join together in our song for freedom, page 164, Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha Barim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Nedar Bakodesh,
שיר החדשות שבחוג גאולים, לשמך לשפת הים, יחד כולם, הודו והמליכו יאמרו,
There's an old Hebrew saying, Mishaneh makom, mishaneh mazal. Change your place, change your luck. The High Holy Days give us a chance to reflect on the ways that we can change our luck, as it were. Uteshuva, utefila, utedaka, ma'avirin et roah hagzera. Returning to the right path, prayer and righteous giving will help us ride out whatever comes our way. As we begin the Amidah, we proactively embody Mishaneh Makom, Mishaneh Mazal, as we take 3 steps backward and then 3 steps forward, leaving behind the world of whatever it is we need to leave behind and entering a new space of majestic prayer. Rabbi David Wolpe teaches, if you feel down, move, walk, dance, go. Part of sadness is immobility. Motion is life. We rise in mind, body, and spirit together on page 166 as we approach the Amidah. Please be seated. In a moment, we will enter the section of liturgy known as Unatana Tokef, which literally means repeated power, where we note that on Rosh Hashanah it is written and on Yom Kippur it is sealed, who will and won't make it through the year. This is a challenging set of liturgy for the modern Jew, as it touches on a central tension in our prayers. Is what we say literally what we mean, or is it a jumping off point for additional contemplation and thought? I'd like to present an alternative Unatana Tokef by Rabbi Joseph Meisler. On Rosh Hashanah it is written, and on Yom Kippur it is sealed, that this year people will live and die, some more gently than others, and nothing lives forever. But amidst overwhelming forces of nature and humankind, we still write our own book of life, and our actions are the words in it. And the stages of our lives are the chapters, and nothing goes unrecorded, ever. Every deed counts. Everything you do matters. And we never know what act or word will leave an impression or tip the scale. So, if not now, then when? For the things we can change, there is teshuvah, realignment. For the things we cannot change, there is tefillah, prayer. For the help we can give, there is tzedakah, justice. Together, let us write a beautiful book of life for the Holy One to read. We turn to page 178 in our screens as we sing Baruch Hashanah along with Leonard Cohen's haunting English interpretation. page 180. We join together at the top. Uteshuva, utefila, utsedaka, ma'avirin et roa hagzera. But through return to the right path, through prayer and righteous giving, we can transcend the harshness of the decree. Page 184, we rise together for the Kedusha. Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, keshem shemakdishim oto bishmei marom, hakatuv al yad neviyecha, v'karaz el zeveh amar, kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Elok kol haaretz, Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu Ma'adir, Shimcha bechol haaretz, Baruch kevod Adonai, Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu Malkeinu, hu Moshiach ve'hu Yashrienu, v'rachamav le'enei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohayim Tzion, Ledor vador. Alleluia. Ledor vador nagid God lecha, ulenetzach netzachim kedushatcha nagdish, v'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush leolam va'ed. Kiel melech gadol v'kadosh Alden Salavi writes, "If I ask you for rest, I will sit with you. If you ask for comfort, I will stay with you. If you ask for hope, I will yearn with you. If you ask for love, I will sing with you. If you ask for stillness, I will breathe with you. If you ask for peace, I will dream with you. If you ask for joy, I will laugh with you. If you ask for healing, I will pray with you. If you ask for warmth, I will become a blanket. If you ask for refuge, I will become a shelter. If you ask for help, I will become a blessing." We take a few moments for silent prayers and blessings through page 214, and you may be seated when you've finished your prayers.
Birkat HaKohanim, the blessing of the high priests, was given from God to Moses to give to Aaron to bless the people with. For so many years, we have been gifted with the presence of our Chazan Emeritus, our Cantor Emeritus, Sheldon Merrill, and he has agreed and prepared to bless us this year in his 95th year. The Birkat HaKohanim, you can find it on page 214.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
Our God, divine presence, whose path our ancestors walk, bless us now with words first bestowed on Israel in the time of Moses and Aaron. This threefold blessing given us through Torah that joins our hopes with theirs. May you know God's blessing of shelter and care, and may it be so.
May you receive the light of God's good kindness and grace. May it be so.
And may you see God's favor and goodness, and may you partake of God's peace. May it be so.
Thank you. I love you. You're beautiful. I'm doing good.
We continue with our prayer for peace, Sim Shalom, on page 216.
Shalom.
Shana Tova. My name is Kimberly Carno, and it is my honor to serve as president of Beth Israel. For those of you who, like me, have been praying silently that the president of Beth Israel would not have to give a speech during high holidays this year, don't feel discouraged. We tried and failed in the early service too. I've reviewed the speeches of the incredible presidents who have come before me and learned the 3 secrets to a successful Rosh Hashanah speech. First, have a strong beginning and ending. And second, have the 2 as close together as possible. The third is also to include a story or 2, so let's start with this one. A rabbi traveled with an interfaith group to a foreign country. Their plan was to spend the week together, learning each other's rituals and sharing prayer together in various houses of worship: a mosque, a Buddhist temple, a church, and a synagogue. In anticipation of Shabbat, the rabbi went out to find a synagogue for the group to visit. The city where he found himself was a destination location. Very few Jews lived there. The synagogue was essentially for tourists. On Shabbat, the rabbi brought this group to the synagogue. They gathered with other Jews, none of whom lived in the city, and none of them knew each other. The service was not structured. It was mostly people praying alone and with different tunes. The rabbi found he could not focus on his prayer. At his home synagogue, this was never an issue. As he thought about the why, he realized it was about community. He was practicing Judaism, but he missed his synagogue, his Jewish community. The notion of community is what Beth Israel and all of you mean to me. When I sit on the bima and scan the room, I see faces familiar to me. When I hear the rabbis say the names of loved ones who have passed, I search for their family members in the sanctuary. My heart feels the sadness of the loss as I look to connect silently with friends and community members. My heart is heavy when the family member rises, but I feel the weight lifted as we all stand to help shoulder the grief. A year ago, this community was there to support my family in our time of need when we lost my father-in-law. We have so many things pulling us in different directions, but the constant for me and the generations who have come before me is Beth Israel, our Jewish home away from home. All ages and family compositions spend joyous hours on our beautiful campus. Members serve on committees and our board, are involved in planning and attending services, creating our music, and developing and attending our wide range of programs. The friendships, relationships, and connections solidify the families we choose. We come together in our synagogue to celebrate life's joyous occasions and to face life's challenges as a caring community. For 158 years, Beth Israel has been at the center of Jewish life in San Diego. Our leaders, staff, and members passionately work to make our synagogue a place that inspires Jewish pride and provides a path to meaningful Jewish living. A vital part of that vision is to pursue excellence in Jewish education for all ages and to cultivate a congregational culture of lifelong learning. This learning starts for children as young as a few months in our Bill and Sid Rubin preschool, which now offers an infant and toddler center. Our talented education team engages elementary-age children in our Lee and Frank Goldberg Family Religious School and teens in our high school program. We seek to create programs at Beth Israel that honor Jewish history and culture in music. Music runs through our services and our programs. Classes at Beth Israel offer engaging opportunities to meet new people, exchange ideas, and embrace Jewish history, ritual, and culture. Offerings range from one-time events to year-long classes. We aspire to help our congregants and the greater Jewish community become informed and effective in the pursuit of social justice and tikkun olam. 2 years ago, we introduced the Brit Olam, our covenant to create a world in which all people experience wholeness, justice, and compassion. Since then, the urgency of our work has increased. Our Social Action Committee continues to make its voice heard in the San Diego community. Part of the mission of Beth Israel is to offer compassion and acts of loving kindness to individuals and families during times of need. Our dedicated staff and incredible volunteers, young and old, work to create a caring community. As you know, in the past 2 years, we have shifted from a prescribed dues model structure to the Give to Your Heart's Content model of financially supporting Beth Israel. Give to Your Heart's Content is not about giving more. It is about giving from the deepest self in a way that nurtures rather than depletes. Beth Israel is more than just a synagogue. It is vibrant, empowering, and uplifting. We are a community passing on traditions and teachings to future generations, dedicated to enhancing the lives and building a strong community. We are caring, active, and involved. Beth Israel aids those in need from every walk of life and nurtures personal growth and engagement. As Moses asked each individual to contribute towards building the tabernacle according to their own ability, we ask you to support Beth Israel in a manner that is meaningful to you. From the earliest era in Jewish history, we read descriptions of how members of the community take responsibility for one another. In the Torah, we read that all who are able give gifts as their heart moves them to do. Through these gifts, these contributions, the community was able to maintain its strength. On behalf of the leadership, clergy, and staff, I ask you to align yourself with the Torah's image of support that comes from the heart. Embrace the core value of tzedakah and support all that Beth Israel aspires to do in a manner that fills your heart. Help us continue the tradition of Beth Israel as a home where all who seek a meaningful connection to Judaism are welcome. Look around. We are an incredibly diverse group of individuals. We are in every possible age bracket. We are in every possible family situation. Some of us can read, write, and speak Hebrew fluently, and others not a word. Some of us are Jews whose lives revolve around a deep love for Judaism, while others feel challenged to relate to Jewish teachings. Some love the idea of Israel, but are frustrated by the government. Some may be asking, why am I here today? Some are here every week diving into text, debating with our clergy and other members, seeking to understand everything about Judaism, and some come only 3 times a year. Regardless, Beth Israel embraces all of you. We join Beth Israel because we care about the future of Judaism in our community and around the world. Even if you decide not to come to the synagogue regularly during the course of the year, your membership and that of everyone else in this room and those streaming along remotely ensures that when you need your synagogue, we will be here. We will be here for you because you were here for us. Each of us shares the responsibility to support our community, whether it is by giving to our heart's content when renewing our annual membership, joining the Ner Tamid Circle with a membership commitment above the sustaining level, or giving to our endowment through estate planning and other gifts. If we each do our part, we ensure that Beth Israel is strong today and remains robust for future generations. And if you are not yet a member of a synagogue, we want to thank you for worshiping with us, and perhaps even consider, if appropriate for you, making Beth Israel your official second home by becoming a member. Before I give back the microphone, let me share with you one last story, a conversation I had earlier. God, I said, so far today I have not gossiped, lost my temper, been greedy, grumpy, nasty, selfish, or self-indulgent. I have not whined, complained, cursed, or eaten any chocolate. I have not purchased anything from Amazon. But I will be getting out of bed in a minute. And I think I will really need your help then. On behalf of our board of directors, my fellow officers, the talented clergy, and incredible staff of Beth Israel, and on behalf of my wife Tracy, my children Emma and Harley, may the year 5780 be a year of health, happiness, hope, and peace. Hashanah Tova.
Rabbi Billy Dreskin writes, Avinu Malkeinu means God is our all-powerful parent. Like our parents, God expects a lot from us. And even when we lose our way, like a parent, God is there to hold us and listen, to counsel and advise. In this time of teshuvah, of finding our way, we ask God together as we rise in mind, body, and spirit on page 222 to offer ourselves anew. page 227, our Torah service. This afternoon, we read the Amidah, where we find our patriarch Avraham hearing God's call to take his son, his only, whom he loves, Yitzchak, and offer him as a sacrifice. But before he can complete the horrific task, an angel of Adonai calls to Avraham, telling him not to harm his son. The Amidah, however, is more than just a story of a test of faith. It is a story of awakening. Abraham is first awakened to God's voice with the word hineni, the same word we said last night, here I am. Everett Fox tells us hineni is a term frequently used to convey readiness, as if to say, yes, you have my attention now. The rabbis teach us that Isaac was 37 years old at this moment, but something in him is awakened as he actually speaks his first words in the Torah. Avi, he says meekly, or as we might say today, Daddy. And Abraham too is awakened to his son's request, which echoes God's request for Abraham's attention earlier in the story. And we as readers are meant to be awakened to the change in God language in this story. Until the moment Abraham grabs the knife to slaughter his son, he has heard the voice of Elohim. However, in that moment, an angel of Adonai, Yud-He Vav-He, calls to him and tells him not to stretch out his hand against his son. Tradition teaches that Elohim represents the natural world and justice, while Adonai is the name of God that represents mercy, transformation, and awakening. Each of us, in one way or another, have been faced this past year with a moment, or 2, or 3, or 17, that felt like a test of faith, when in fact, upon reflection, it was perhaps a moment of awakening. This Rosh Hashanah, I invite you to ask yourself, to what will I be awakened this year? For what will I be fully present? How will I make a first impression? Will I notice a name change? Will I notice those stories that go untold?
Good morning. Better? There we go. Good morning, Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
It is my honor to announce the Torah readers and those chanting Aliyot this morning. For the first Aliyah, our Torah reader will be Janine Feldman, and chanting the blessing before will be the past presidents Jerry Goldberg, Emily Genowine, and Marianne Scher, and the blessing after, Bonnie Graff.
Yamdu Harishon.
Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bochar Banu Mikol Hamim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayi ahar hadvarim ha'ele v'Elohim nisa et Avraham vayomer elav Avraham vayomer hineni vayomer kachna et bincha tidha asher ahavta et Yitzchak velech lecha el eretz hamoria v'alehu sham leolal achad harim asher omar elecha vayashkem Avraham baboker ויחבוש את עמורו, ויקח את שני נעריו איתו, ואת יצחק בנו. ויבקע עליו, ויקום וילך אל המקום אשר אמר לו האלוהים.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chai olam nota b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
For the second Aliyah, our Torah reader will be Becca Myers. Then chanting the blessing before will be Joanne and Ken Gimble, and the blessing after, Ava and Michael Carnow.
Yamdu Hashemi. Verse 4, page 240.
Baruch hu Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Bayom hashlishi, vayisa elo Avraham et einav, vayaret hamakom merachok, vayomer Avraham el ne'arav, shvu lachem po im chachamor, va'ani ve'hana'ar nelcha ad ko, ve'shivtecha ve'nishtachave ve'nashuva alechem, vayikach Avraham et etzah haolah, vayasem al Yitzhak beno, vayikach be'ado et ha'esh ve'et ha'ma'achelet, vayelchu shnechem yachdav.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
For the third Aliyah, our Torah reader will be Russ Gold. Then chanting the blessing before will be Stacy Goodman-Eaton, Jason Berkovich, and Naima Solomon, and the blessing after, Silvana and Richard Christie.
Yamdu Hashlishi. Verse 7.
Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. יעשה לעולה. ויאמר אברהם אלוהים יראה לו עשה לעולה בני והלכו שניהם יחדיו ויבואו אל המקום אשר אמר לו האלוהים ויבן שם אברהם את המזבח ויערוך את העצים ויעקוד את יצחק בנו וישם אותו על המזבח ממעל לעצים.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayam olam nata betoheinu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
For the fourth Aliyah, our Torah reader will be Michael Breslauer. Then chanting the blessing before will be Catherine and Andrew Garman, and the blessing after, Heidi and Steve Levin.
Yamdu Harivi'i. Page 241, verse 10.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayishlach Avraham et yodo vayikach et hamachelet lishchot et beno vayikra elav malach Adonai min hashamayim vayomer Avraham vayomer hineni Vayomer al tishlach yorecha el hana'ar ve'al hatishlo me'uma ki ata yodati ki yireh Elohim ata velo hashata et benach et yiricha mimeni.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, asher natan lanu Torah emes, v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
For the fifth Aliyah, our Torah reader will be Cheyenne North. Then chanting the blessing before will be Francine and Philip Ginsberg, and the blessing after, Larry Krause and Marty Stern.
Yamdu HaChamishi.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayis Avraham et Einai hamakom ha'hu Adonai yireh asher ye'omer hayom behar Adonai yera'eh vayikra malach Adonai el Avraham shenit min hashamayim.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tokeinu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
With the Torah in our midst, we turn to page 245 as we offer our blessing for healing, Misha Berach.
It is my honor to call to the bima the Torah lifter Daniel Lin, Torah dresser Elaine Gallinson, and Torah holder Herbert Solomon.
Please rise.
now call to the bima Corey Briggs, who will chant the blessing before Haftarah. Chanting Haftarah this morning will be Renee Landy O'Malley. Chanting the blessing after Haftarah will be Leslie Mark.
Our Haftarah today comes from the book of Samuel, and it speaks about Hannah. On Rosh Hashanah, the day of remembrance, God remembered Sarah, answering her prayer for a child. And so we connect Torah and Haftarah from the prophets. On this day, Rachel was remembered, and on this day, also, Hannah was remembered.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher bakar bin tovim v'ritzah b'divrechem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai haboker b'torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'v'niviyeh ha'emet v'tzedek.
Vayhi ish echad min haramatayim tzofim meher Ephraim ushmo Elkanah ben Yerocham ben Elihu ben Tohu ben Suf Ephrati velo shetei nashim shem achat Chana v'shem hashenit Penina vayehi livnina yeladim ulchana en yeladim v'ala ha'ish hahu meiro meyamim yamima lehishtachavot v'lizboach l'Adonai tzevaot b'shilo v'shem shenei v'neli chofni u'finchas kohanim l'Adonai vayehi hayom vayizbach Elkanah v'natan livnina ishto ulchabaneha ubnotecha manot ulchana yiten mana achat apayim ki et chana ahev v'Adonai sagar rachma. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol ha'alamim sadik b'kol hadarot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer v'yoseh ha'midaber v'kayim shekol divarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah v'al ha'avodah v'al ha'nevi'im v'al yom ha'zikaron hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu lichavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umevarchim otach yitbarach shimcha befi kol chai tamid leolam va'ed Udvarecha emet v'kayam la'ad. Baruch atah Adonai, Melech HaKol ha'aretz, Mekadesh Yisrael v'yom hazikaron.
We rise on 277 as we return the Torahs to the Ark.
Shana Tova. There are only a few words that I sing in my mind before writing or even saying them. ENCYCLOPEDIA. Encyclopedia is one of them, and with many thanks to Jiminy Cricket. Another word, which you will immediately recognize, however, has constantly been on my mind and repeating itself over and over again. RESPECT. I'm not even going to try and sing that one here in public. I can hear the brilliant voice of the late Aretha Franklin captivating the world with her enthralling and mesmerizing performances. When she died, her and Otis Redding's song Respect was on everyone's lips and broadcast the world over. It's a driving, memorable, and incredibly catchy song. And it is breaking my heart that in recent times, and I fear far into the future, respect has been conspicuously absent. Respect. In Hebrew, kavod, it's such a strong Jewish value that our tradition even extends kavod to inanimate objects. For example, traditionally, when we cover the challah on the Shabbat table, while we say the blessing over the wine, literally, so that the challah's feelings are not hurt by having the wine be blessed first. It's a true story. If we take such symbolic care over a loaf of bread, how much more so should we be concerned about our relationships with other human beings? Respect is a crucial part of almost everything that Judaism teaches, from how we approach God to how we should act with parents, family members, and members of our communities. Torah teaches us, "Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha," you should love your neighbor as you love yourself. We begin with self-respect and self-love in order to respect and love others. Rabbi Hillel says in the Talmud, "That which is hateful to you, do not do to others." But every evening, I thought it was just most evenings, but it is not. Every evening at some point we witness that which is hateful being done and said. Opposing sides on television are shouting each other down, drowning out each other's words. Commentators refuse to allow each other to finish a thought and even Quote, when everyone is allegedly on the same side, debates become shouting matches, and otherwise decent people try to score points by maligning each other. This behavior is beyond going after ratings. And if it's intended for ratings, who have we become to think that these are healthy and worthy debates? What has happened to the respect, the kavod that should weave throughout our lives? Even the Jewish people show disrespect for one another. Just for the record, there is no place in the world that I would rather be than Israel, and in particular, Jerusalem. Yet one night, a few years ago at a cantorial conference in Jerusalem, walking down the streets of my golden city, alone, singing quietly and happily to myself, and modestly dressed, I was hit by a rock and called many names, none worthy of repeating in shul, by someone who was ultra-Orthodox Jew. Fully understanding the tradition about the laws of Kol Isha, about women not singing in public, which admittedly is hard for a female cantor to take, I felt myself losing patience and became resentful. The rock didn't help. And in reverse, my rabbinic school classes, students, future rabbis condemned, criticized, and mocked the way traditional Jews follow the law that in their opinion is unenlightened and entirely outdated. I must admit that I, who had a very traditional upbringing, sometimes found myself not only forgetting where I came from, but castigating the Orthodox for their zeal for the law, and I am embarrassed at myself. There are many differences, too, among liberal Jews, but instead of discussing why we each believe and feel and behave the way we do, we judge each other. Sadly, parts of my own family, my friends, and some congregants alike, in their passion for their own religious and cultural views, can't bring themselves to speak to one another and refuse to listen when they perceive others to be on the opposite or the wrong side. Healthy disagreement by well-meaning people is stifled, causing many people to feel unwelcome on the outside. I find myself afraid to share my own personal views regarding Israel or political preference here at home. We are all being silenced, and we are silencing ourselves, afraid to have healthy disagreements and important conversations. This is not the Jewish way. The Talmud records arguments spanning generations, giving voice to both or all viewpoints. The academies of Hillel and Shammai disagreed on virtually everything, but they talked to each other and agreed to disagree. Perhaps we need to teach more Talmud and show the generations of arguments among the rabbis. Argument and struggle, that is how we learn. I'd like to propose that we adopt for ourselves a term often used in psychology. You all know this term, compassionate listening. It's a non-judgmental invitation to others to be themselves, to speak for themselves without worrying about disapproval. It's an extraordinary gift to offer another person, and it can enrich our lives as well. Compassionate listening requires patience, openness, and emotional strength. Moreover, it requires a true desire to understand the other. This requires commitment and practice. One example of this commitment practiced constantly is a group called Seeds of Peace. Seeds of Peace identifies young potential leaders in areas beset by conflict and invites them to a transformational camp session in Maine. There, the Seeds of Peace website explains, the dialogue program shifts attitudes and perceptions and builds respect and empathy. In the words of Adham, a Palestinian seed, Seeds of Peace gave me hope that one day we'll be able to live in peace, a just peace based on the elements of respect, dignity, and basic human rights and values for every Israeli and Palestinian. And another example, The Irish, who are in this sense my heroes, after so many years of war, suffering, and conflict, they found a way forward to reconciliation, pursued peace, and rebuilt a society and a nation. And there are so many more examples. It takes much longer to rebuild a society than to tear it down. Within our larger society and our smaller communities, we must do all that we can to keep from tearing ourselves to shreds. As Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav taught, if you believe that it is possible to break, believe that it is possible to repair. When we take on this challenge to listen compassionately to each other, we can expand our consciousness and empathy and enlarge our capacity and desire for inclusion, not out of pity or benevolence, but because we understand better and desire the wholeness that we can only come about through acceptance and inclusion. Our very mission statement says that Beth Israel is an inclusive Reformed congregation that offers a warm welcome and a nurturing home to all who seek meaningful and enduring connection to Judaism. Everyone, no matter what your religious observances, your beliefs, your political views, your race, gender, or sexual orientation, you are an integral part of us, and we are not your judges. I pledge to you that when we discuss weighty issues concerning Israel, immigration, security in our synagogue, and so much more this year, we will examine all sides and we will work to bring in people to teach from all opposing views. As Jews, we look to imitate God as the ultimate compassionate listener. Our Torah service today described God as God of mercy, God gracious and compassionate, endlessly patient and abounding in kindness and faithfulness, assuring love for 1,000 generations, forgiving and granting pardon. With respect for one another and a willingness to engage in compassionate listening, there is no subject too difficult to take on. When we speak to one another in our hearts, informed by our deepest values, we can find support and comfort in the words of the Talmud. Elu ve'elu, divrei Elohim chaim. These and these are the words of the living God. Ken yehi ratzon, may this be God's will, and like God's, our will.
It is my honor to call to the bima George Scher, who will chant the shofar call, and David Estrin, sounding shofar this morning.
Each sound of the shofar has a different meaning. Tekiah, one whole note. Shivarim Teruah, 3 broken notes, 9 staccato notes. Tekiah, one whole note. Our return to the right path has the power to make us whole again. Tekiah, once we were whole. Shivarim Teruah, in the wear and tear of living, we became broken and shattered. Tekiah, our teshuvah has the power to make us whole again. We rise together for the shofar blessing on page 206.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lishma kol shofar.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Tekiah. Shevarim Teruah. Tekiah. Tekiah. Shevarim. Tekiah. Tekiah. Teruah. Tekiah.
The second section of Shofar Blast is known as Zichronot, in which we ask God to remember. But Rabbi Richard Levy taught that the Hebrew word Zachor didn't mean simply to remember, but could also mean to make one present. God of presence, remember the covenant of our ancestors. We reaffirm it today. Remember and be present with your people, a people of noble ideals. Be our partner and help us attain them. Page 268.
Tekiah. Tekiah. Shevarim. Tekiah. Tekiah. Teruah. Tekiah.
Shofar, called Shofarot, includes the Kiyah Gedolah, the long blast. When the ram's horn sounds, a long blast, the people, then they may go up on the mountain. On Rosh Hashanah, the drawn out Tekiah recalls the moment when Torah was given. It sounds a triumphant conclusion to the last of these themes today.
Shevarim Teruah. Tekiah. Tekiah. Shevarim. Tekiah. Tekiah, Teruah, Tekiah Gadolah,
Hashanah Tova. I'm still Kim Carno, president of your congregation. It is my pleasure to introduce Marcia Lubick, who serves on your board of directors, joining me on the bima this morning. As I begin to think about the announcements, I hearken back to that joke, how many Beth Israel drivers does it take to jam the parking structure? Please validate your parking. Thank you to our musicians, Andrew Meyer, Milo Ingard, Ben Brogadier, and Jeff Myers. Thank you to Chris O'Brien and the Zimriah Chorale and Friends, and especially Cantor Emeritus Sheldon Merrill, for creating such beauty in our worship this morning. We also especially thank Iris and Matthew Strauss as sponsors of our High Holiday music, and Dr. Lisa Braun-Glazer and Jeff Glazer for generously underwriting the purchase of our High Holiday prayer books. Important free parking information. Limited parking is available in the gateway structure during weekday business hours. Please validate. Consult the overflow parking map that came with your tickets. It's also available at the Solutions tent in our courtyard. For those with disabled parking placards, the Beth Israel parking lot off of Golden Haven Drive is available throughout the holy days. Please check your ticket packets and our website for all service times and information about High Holidays. For questions throughout the day, please stop by the Solutions table in the courtyard. Once again, please validate. Lashana Tova Tikatevu. I hope it is a healthy and sweet new year for you and your families.
We begin to conclude our service with Aleinu L'Shabeach, page 286. I invite you to please rise as you're able. Aleinu L'Shabeach, L'Adon HaKol, L'Ateit Gedula, Le'yotzer Bereshit, Shelo Shelo Sam Kelvenu Kahe our loved ones who are not with us at this moment but are surely present in our hearts. As we prepare for Mourner's Kaddish, we take note of the additional words, Le'ela u'le'ela mikol birchata, and at the end, Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. We join together on page 292, Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, ve'chayechon u'vyomechon, uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'visman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha brichu, le'ela u'le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehe shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, Amen. You who makes peace in the highest heavens, guide our hearts and our hands in service to each other and your world, to bring peace to all the nations of the earth, all people everywhere. We join together in our closing song, Hayom. I invite you to put your prayer books down, your machzors down, put your arm around the person next to you, and join us in song.
Yes.